Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely early morning, 6 a.m. that the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a very powerful message regarding where we are at in our understanding is so distant from what the Creator has created for us. We are so in the mind and in the heart of man ways to where we have totally have forsaken the ways and the purpose of the Father in the spirit realm. I'm coming to you to break down the four chambers. The four chambers are the seasons in which the Most High had poured out of himself and created for the earth. Okay? And if he created the seasons to change within the earth, we too come from the earth. So this is why it's important to really listen to this video. And this is a video you need to share with someone else. It is important that you share this video. This video is going to allow you to kind of understand a lot of things that you never understood. Now, when you receive this video, it's not like you're going to change. It's not like you're going to wake up. It's not like you're going to really see the light. But I just like how the Father says that if Satan got 90, I'm going to have at least 10 kicking it up for me for my name's sake. And I thank him for that, for allowing me to be partaker for his name's sake and not so much partaker for Satan and not the partaker for Satan's namesake, nor the flesh of men. And I thank the Father for that because it just shows you how far we as an individual, I'm not talking about as a people. It's time to get away from us as a people. Because when you block yourself as a people, and a people ain't going to stand before the throne with you. You're going to stand alone. You better start thinking as an individual. You can't think for your family. You can't think for your husband. You can't think for your wife. You can't think for your children. You have to think for yourself. Yourself. And yourself has to gain this righteous. Yourself has to gain this just. Yourself has to gain this upright. Yourself has to gain this belief, this faith, and this fear that rests in the spirit realm. Yourself. Nobody on your left, nor on your right, nor your husband, nor you. This is the mystery when he said a man and a woman become one. This is the mystery because the mystery is when you stand before the kingdom, when you are written in the book, you are not written as one, but separate as two in Yah. So understand that what I'm saying is so powerful for you to step in the realm of understanding that you stand alone. In the eyes, which is spiritual, the eye, which is spiritual of Yah. We're so busy following the eye of Satan, of the Illuminati and of the world, to where we can't see that one singular eye which has all the power to see all things at one time. They can't outride that. How you like me now? You wanting to keep meditating on the what is it? The all seeing eye. Oh baby, ain't no all seeing eye, but that one. And that's my Father in the heaven that sees all things at one time. See, this is the difference. Deborah is different from you all. Because I'm not giving Satan no glory over my Father when I know he is the one that received all glory all by himself. Satan ain't getting no piece of nothing, nor am I. Okay? So my topic is a powerful topic because we're going to wrap in the 4 seasons. The Father set up his creation. And when he set up his creation, he had set it up in a 4 season representing 4 chambers within him. The Father set up a 4 season for the 4 chambers within him. He gave us spring, summer, fall, and winter. Let's say it. In that order, we are forgiving spring, summer, winter. No, spring, summer, fall, and winter. Why? Spring has to bring forth everything. So therefore, in the beginning, earth brought forth everything. So it has to start with spring. So I say unto you, the Father had 4 chambers within him. And it was called spring, summer, fall, and winter. As a young girl, age 14, I was either 14, between 14 and 16. I was with the summer camp program, and I was a counselor. But the counselor that I was, we had so many responsibility, y'all. Each counselor had in between 20 to 25 children of the same age. And I think I had the 5-year-olds. And all of us had to walk to the park at a certain time. And we all be in a line. We have our rolling cart with our lunches on it. And we go to the park. This is during the summer program. And we go to the park and we sit down on the grass and eat. Well, I found myself not sitting on the grass. I did not want to sit on the grass and eat. Not with all those gnats and flies. And it was so hot. And I was watching these kids just not even feeling the heat nor the stuff flying. They was doing this here, but it didn't bother them. They just sat down and eat. And the Spirit of the Most High, y'all, spoken to me. Now, this is when I was a young person, a teenager, in between 14 and 16. In between, I think it was more so 14. And I get a check every Friday from them, a large check. Back then, that was a lot of money. And it was a lot of money because it was more than minimum wage. It was a program, a government program that offered the community jobs for teenagers from 13 to 18. So I worked with the neighborhood program, and I enjoyed it. But only part I didn't like is going to that park. It's hot outside. Who want to walk in that heat at least 2 or 3 blocks to get to the park to sit down on the grass to eat their lunch? Not Sister Deborah. But the Father spoke to me. He said, now look at these kids. It ain't bothering them. It ain't bothering nobody but you. He said, I want you from this day on to embrace the 4 seasons. Embrace the 4 seasons. Do you all know right now I am 63 years old. And anytime someone says to me anything about the seasons, oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. All this snow, all this gloomy when it's fall. You know what? People complain about the season 24-24. Ever since I was 14 to 16, it was one, I'm going to use 14. And the Father spoke those spiritual words to me. Here I am at 63, and I'm finna speak them to you, but I'm going to speak them with great power and great authority in which the Spirit of the Most High Yah has given unto me to do in this day. So he said that to me, and from that day on, it was something that he implanted in me. It felt like it because I looked forward to going to that park, sit my butt down. I was knocking the stuff off, but I heard from the Most High in my spirit. Learn to embrace the four season, Deborah. Embrace it. Meaning, don't exclude what I have included for the life of man. So don't exclude it. Include it in your life. So don't forget, I was 14. Do you all know? I'm going to show y'all how powerful it is to embrace the four chambers, which is the seasons. Even to the point of all these pagan holidays, I'm going to make you understand, whether you don't understand, I'm going to make you understand it. Say, if you heard this message, whether you agree with it or like it or approve of it, it don't matter. Know that the Father turned your light on for 1 minute. Let me see. Just that quick. When you heard this message, just that quick. Off and on, you got something. Now, ever since he said that, even when I would go to school, I would prepare for the winter. It didn't bother me. I would prepare for the summer. It didn't bother me. So when I had my first child at the age of 19, if you all could see how every season was important for me to do the things in the season with my son, okay? Every season was so important. You think that the snow didn't come? I don't care if it was 0 degrees. Come on, man, we finna go out here. We get our sleds before it gets really cold. When they first start coming out with the winter, we get our boots, our hats, our gloves, our whole outfit. When I mean the zip up coat thing, the jumper, we get everything to go out in the cold. We get everything so we can go sled riding. We do everything. We took advantage. We took advantage of those 4 seasons. Yes, we did. I raised my son up. Even in the rain, there's something to enjoy. Come on here. It's spring. Let's grow this. Okay? It's summer. Let's go to the beach. Let's enjoy the sun. No, ain't no such thing as too hot. Let's go. Let's get out there in it. You see how the Negroes, I ain't gonna say the Negroes, but the melanated men and women, especially the men, they expound on what the purpose of the sun. And what it gives us. Is it vitamin D? I think it is. And they talk about how we should get out in the sun. But guess what? When it's hot and the sun is like that, you got 99.9 of them. I ain't getting it. I'm staying in the air conditioning. It's too hot out there. It's too hot. See? Because they ain't never embraced the 4 seasons. Why? Because they never knew what Sister Deborah is telling you today. This is what the Father called knowledge shall increase. The knowledge that's going to increase is not the knowledge out of the flesh of the mouth of a man. That's bringing you knowledge out of this book. The knowledge is when heaven is climbing on top of what has already been spoken because you reject it in the days of your life. Even to this day, you reject it. And I'm bringing knowledge, meaning I'm bringing light to what you sat in darkness on all these years. 4 seasons, y'all. It's the 4 chambers that rest within the bosom of the Father. He created the 4 chambers for us. For us. One might say, no, he did that for the earth. But who come out of the earth? Come on now. See, we don't embrace the 4th season like the earth and the creation does. The whole creation bows down to the Most High Yah's 4 seasons. Everything recognized Yah except for man. Isn't that sad? See, everything Recognize the four seasons, which is the four chambers outside of the flesh of men and women. You talking about knowledge going to increase. I'm increasing knowledge. And it's not meant for you to understand it, nor see it, nor hear it when you don't. It is only for that one that can see and hear what the Spirit is saying. So the fourth season, I'm going to wrap this up with everything, you guys, so you all can kind of understand. I did this last year, but I took it a different route. But I'm saying this year because it's real heavy in my spirit. It's real heavy. So what has happened is the four chambers in the Most High Yah was set up for us to enjoy. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. We were supposed to look at those seasons and embrace it. Not in a religion, not in a tradition, not in a way that man has taught it from the Bible or the book of instructions and directions. That's not the four chambers. See, they're not going to teach you the four chambers because they're so busy deceiving you for Satan. That's why he said, in the end, knowledge is going to increase, but it's not the knowledge that in which you have heard. It's the knowledge in which you have not heard. It's what's going to increase. It's almost like he's giving you still at the end ability to see how you've been misled and deceived all these years. And I'm bringing some knowledge so you can see. But if you see, you see. But if you see not, you see not. Like that's what Hosea was saying. They perish. They shall perish. They do perish. No doubt they perish, Deborah. Because they reject the same thing he said that was coming in the end days. They reject what? Knowledge. And in the end days, what? Knowledge is going to be increased. They reject it. And they're going to perish. So what he's saying is, you have all that I have given you. It's just your spirit of rejection. Because you're written in the book of the lake of fire. All your works and everything else about you is already written. Do you understand what written means? That's what Yeshua was saying to Satan on the mountain. Hey, babe, hey, stand down. It's already written. Heaven already got all this with me and you doing. It's already in the heavens. We just walking this thing out, Satan. You see? And Satan is still up there trying to find out, do he have the power? Do you have the power to do this? Do you have the power to do this? If you have the power to do this. All Satan was doing to Yeshua was trying to figure out, do you have the power with you on this mountain? That's all Satan was doing. He was testing Yeshua on the mountain as the Son of Man to see if the Son of Yah was with him. And he went on to telling him, I tell you what, whether it's with me or not, it is already written in the heavens what me and you are doing on this mountaintop today. Praise the mighty Yah. So what the Father was showing me about the four chambers, he said, now, I was telling y'all about when I was 14, in between 14 and 16, but I think I was 14 because I was really young. And that wasn't my first year. Yeah, I had to have been 14 because my first year working for the government system for neighborhood housing. That's what it was. It's a government system. System work for youth employment. And I was 13. I worked for the Federal Center on Goodfellow, military base. Yes, as a file clerk at the age of 13. They paid us good. We didn't get minimum wage. We got a little over minimum wage back then. And so that's how long I've been working since I was 13. Oh, yeah, since I got into it called SLATE program. But the neighborhood housing was also hooked up with the SLATE program. So let me tell y'all what happened. So as time went on and I had a child at 19, I had my first child at 19, okay? And when I had my first child, it was all about, hey, it was almost like a child is born. That's how my son came into the world. Hey, a child is born. That's how my son came into the world. Hey, a child is born. He was the first grandchild, and I was one of the young. My mother had 7. I was one of the younger ones. And I had 4 sisters and 1 brother older than I was. But I was the young one, and I had the first grandchild, and he was the first grandchild. And our family was the big family, which everybody would call Leave It to Beaver. They was the goody goody. We was the so-called goody goody, perfect family, and so on. But here I go out, and I have get pregnant and have a child. So my son was the first grandchild, and he was everything to everybody. When they would have his birthday party at the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, when they would have his birthday party, that would be my older sister. And all of a sudden, you get all these people from AT&T, the post office. I mean, everywhere my sisters and them work, and their friends, everybody was at the party. Why? Because it's his birthday. Oh, it's his birthday. Yeah, that's how he came in. But this kid came in, born in the beginning of the summer, okay? So when he came in, it was like me, myself, I recognized and I embraced, even not recognized it then, but I still was embracing the season, okay? I knew that his coming in came in during the summer, okay? Everything about that child, even at that young age, I recognized the season. Oh, yes, I did. I sure did. This child at 1 year old had to go outside in the cold and go sled riding. I did everything from football to basketball to baseball to everything. Leaves. Oh, I couldn't wait till the fall come. I rake up leaves, and we just day after day would have a time with leaves. Leaves were to be raked up, and we are to dive into the leaves, okay? Or we are to hide in the leaves, or we are to buy rakes, get the bags for the leaves. And we used to make an activity during the fall time period. We used to make activities for winter activities. We used to make time for spring. Let's grow. Let's plant. Let me get all this stuff. It's time to plant. Let's get this here so we can plant it. We would get that in like March. And we said, we're going to plant this here in April. We're going to plant these things because spring. Every activity for all 4 seasons, I got set with this child. This child got set up to the 4 season to right now. He suffered today regarding the 4 season. I'm sorry. I want to let you all know this. And I am sorry because I kind of feel sad for him. Because this child is 40. This child of mine, he's 43. And today he still embraced the 4 season. And it's so deep, y'all. The 4 season is a chambers of the Most High, y'all. It's branded in you. It is branded in you. And when you embrace these 4 seasons, you are embracing the creation of the Most High Yah's purpose for you. You see, he gave these 4 seasons for us to recognize. And this young man, he gets emotional due to these seasons. And I know why he gets emotional. And it makes me feel real sad. I'm going to break these holidays down to y'all. Something that this flesh of man can't teach y'all, can't preach this. Because without the Spirit of Yah to teach and break this thing down to you, you just out there. You're just out there swimming in the ways and the mouth of these loudmouth men, and you don't have no spirit of truth to lead nor guide you with the light in their hand. See, Sister Deborah, the spirit and truth is the Ruach HaKodesh giving me the fullness of what is, what was, and what shall be. But he turned around and he give me the lamp that's lit. See, I ain't the 10 virgins that had just oil. I got the light that will show me the way to the narrow gate. So if you don't get behind me, and if you are before me, get it before me, let me tell you something. You messed up from the floor up, and so what? It is written that you be. So I'm like saying, okay, here it is, the 4 seasons. To the point where when these seasons came, my son was excited because we would get everything we need for the winter so that we can go out in 0 and 8 foot of snow, a foot of snow. And we have had that type of snow. And we didn't let the winter bother us. And when I look at him and see that he was too cold, I would say feel so sad, but then he'd be enjoying himself. He's not paying attention to the cold, nor am I. Okay, so I knew how to come out, but I did not forsake the 4 seasons because the 4 season did not forsake Sister Deborah. It was branded in me. Okay, so a lot of you all don't understand. You've forsaken everything that the Father created. This is what he was telling me the other day. When I say up, they say down. When I say left, they say right. When I say light, they say black. It don't matter. It's nothing he can say that will change you all. It's nothing Sister Deborah can say that will change you all. We're not here. I'm not here, and many others are not here for you all. We are for that one. He that has an ear, let him hear. We're not for the brick walls. That's over with. They got food. Free food. Like the government get about free food. They got free food. And still stand as brick walls. So I say unto you that the 4 seasons, now I'm finna back the 4 seasons up. I have worked many places that has had the multitude. I've worked also in the prison systems, okay? The women prison, which were annex. Gumbo is the men minimum, and Clayton is the maximum. So those are the 3 that I was the swing person for those 3 prison systems. They worked and went to one, but I was the female that had never been hired there, but was for all 3 as the swing person. I worked for, I can't say the name because it's a hidden place. The women of Battered Women and Children. It's a hidden out place that is supported by the government and the state for women whose husbands are VIP, meaning real VIP that's running and escaping death because of their husbands that are senators and mayors and judges and all these high officials. They're escaping, and their way to escape is like the Underground Railroad. They would send them to a state where they can't find them. They cannot connect to them. Okay, and I was working for that facility and prepared. I was there before they even opened. We would had to train and everything for what we are going to get in and the type of seriousness it was that we weren't supposed to speak on, where it was, what's the name, and so on and so on. So these women would be coming from all over the United States to hide. And they were to start their whole life over. I'm telling y'all, it was deep. It was deep, like the Underground Railroad. This is what type of facility was for battered women and children. I learned so much in the classes because as I learned in the natural, I also took on the spirit and say, this is why that is the way that it is, because the what you taught me, I see it in the natural. And in the natural, they would teach you about the different moons, the different seasons, the different time period of when these women were, their life was threatened by husbands they've been with 10, 15, 20, got kids and everything. These men were wealthy people. It didn't matter how wealthy they were. It was during different seasons that these women would be battered more so than they have ever. It was during different time periods of moons and when the moon and full moon and half moon and all of this, it always changed their husband mood swing. I'm telling y'all, this thing was so deep to learn this in the natural, to where in the spirit, Sister Deborah set up with the four seasons, because the 4 seasons represent it all into one. You see, all of it goes into one. The one is the chambers. And in the chambers, it has four parts to it. So as they were teaching it in the order of not understanding why this during this year, this time of year, and this time of year they do this, and this time of year they find more women dead, and this time of year they find more women in the hospital battered, and this time of year, why is it lining up every year the same? Y'all missed it. My father had 4 seasons. Okay? And because we never mastered the 4th season, but we mastered the man's way of saying, oh, we should have this, the full moon this, and the full moon this, and the feast day here and the feast day there. And then you ever decide to wake up, which I doubt it, you could see where Yeshua spoke to in Matthew's, Luke, John, and Mark. It is written, I put it like that, how these things were taking place during certain time periods, but no longer is it to be done that way, because now Yeshua is speaking to these, in these 3 books. It speaks of how it's not about Yah. So all them feasts that y'all keep running at and doing everything man tell y'all to do based on his control and his ruling, you go right ahead. He already locked the books in the kingdom. The books that leads to the lake of hell for the dead, it's locked, y'all. The book leading to the book of life, it's locked, y'all. So all this clowning y'all doing down here and all this running behind these deceived people because of what they say, and you thinking what they say is righteous because your flesh yearn for flesh food, flesh understanding, flesh wisdom, and flesh knowledge. There's no problem with that. That's just who you are from the heavens, where it is already written where you at. How about that? How about this? Share this video, y'all, because this is about to reveal something. So here we go. The 4 seasons I explained to you coming up and how I honor the 4 seasons. I did not do that at first, but he got me at the age of 14, between 14 and 16. I say 14. He got me, hold on 1 minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing the meal for my children. I'm way South County. They way North County. And they got mama doing their meal, which I told them I would. And yes, I'm charging them. Not just for the food alone, but for the labor. Yes. So what is happening is the 4th season is the 4 chambers of the Most High Yah. Okay. It was created for us to embrace. The earth itself embraces the 4 seasons. Not only does it embrace the 4 seasons, it prepares for the 4 seasons. Where do we come from? The earth. So we too should be preparing for the seasons. Saluting the seasons as a gift from the Most High Yah. But instead, we're around here trying to hold on to the old of traditions of men. And not understanding that this book is only instructions and direction. You know what instructions and directions is? You remember in the garden, he gave an instruction and a direction to Adam. Eve was not created. He gave it to Adam. Eve was not created. Did Adam ever uphold that one instruction, that one direction? No, he didn't. The Father say they use commandment and law as a hammer because it hits you harder than the simple idea of instructions and directions. Well, that's what this book is. This book is simply instructions and direction. Okay? I want to make you understand this. In the Gospel of John, it is said, let me go in and read that so y'all can just stay with me. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 2. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah, and the same was in the beginning with Yah. If you ever decide in your life to look at the Gospel of John chapter 1, you notice the word is just capitalized as the word Yah is. It's wanting you to grip the power in what the word is. You cannot connect that word with this book. Because when this book speak of word, it speak of words with an S. It speaks of a lowercase W-O-R-D. So you have to, by the Spirit of Yah, understand the difference between the words of man and the word of man from the word of Yah. Notice the power in the word. Go back to Gospel of John. Look at it. Don't look at me. Look at it. You notice the word is capitalized. He's trying to allow it to push up in you so you can grip this thing. But you won't grip it because you heard too much words out of the mouth of man. This book is not to be used as a living, something that you take and live your life out of. No, because this book cannot redeem you. This book cannot save you. This book cannot heal you. This book is exactly that. It is instructions and direction that you should study to show only yourself approved. But when the Ruach comes, it's going to teach you how to rightly divide spirit and truth from the word itself. So when I'm here teaching you spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. That's deep, with that light in that right hand. That means I know the way to the narrow gate. Praise the Most High. You can't get to the narrow gate without knowing the way and having the light to lead you. Okay? So you just go on, do what you're doing. Follow these men into the rabbit hole, which Yah has created them to go so deep in. I'm looking at this end day saying, wait a minute, hold up, Father, tribulation is here. Hold up, Father, judgment's on the land. Wait a minute, I see your fire. And they see nothing. They run around here trying to keep y'all in mind of polygamy, trying to make y'all see polygamy as something righteous. Not trying to tell you, watch out, don't go that route, don't go that way. No, they ain't trying to lead you to no narrow gate because they don't know the way. Nor did the Father give them the light to lead you. You just too ignorant to realize that. Okay, now, one thing about John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and chapter 2, I like the power in it. I felt it when I read it. I said, wait a minute, you sound angry. You kind of mad though. He said, I am. I'm fierce. He was fierce when he wanted that to come out. See, you have to read it in the spirit, not just in the flesh. And that's why people can't see the power of the word, because they see the power of the word written, but they don't see the power of the word, that power behind that word, which is written here. And you can see, I can see the power because I see this word. I'm like saying, wait a minute. In the beginning was the word. Okay, I see it's capitalized. So you're trying to say something. And the word, wait a minute. There it is again, and you didn't capitalize it again. Okay, was with you. Okay, it was in the beginning. And it was with you, God. Yeah. And the word was God. Hold up now. Hold up. He had to capitalize the word because the word is, was, and always been him. So you're going to tell me this book is God? Come on now. Come on, talk to me. Let me break down to y'all what this book is. This book is an instruction and direction guide. Okay? Just as, hear me now, when he told Adam, created Adam all by himself, and he told him what not to take of, and then he also told him what to do, what not to take of, and what would happen if he did. He gave him directions and instructions. One direction, one instruction, one consequence. Guess what? Who failed at it before woman was created? That's what you call knowledge shall increase. What the Father was saying when he said knowledge shall increase, the reason why he's saying it's going to increase because it's not coming to you in the natural. The knowledge that's going to increase is coming to you in the spirit. So while you all are running around here trying to chase the flesh words of man, I like how the Father got the gate so broad so you can run in and catch up with man. Because in it, you could see where man is teaching you what you call flesh knowledge, flesh wisdom, and flesh understanding. That's the only thing that you all can grip. Okay? Now, when I break down the Bible, it's going to also kind of get you to understand exactly where I'm coming from. Okay? So when he said in the end days, knowledge is going to increase, he's giving you an insight that you're going to get something you never had before. And that's what Sister Deborah is coming to give you and other prophets. Not what you heard out of a loudmouth man. Not what you see and what you believe, but something out of the ordinary of what you done heard all your years. What you understand all those years. He's letting you know, I send minds. Okay, y'all gave Satan 90% to cut up from the floor up. Even those 90%, a lot of them say they represent the creator, but they don't. They represent Satan. That's why they're showing up and showing out. But the Father say 10%. Come on now, y'all. I said I got a narrow gate. I got to have somebody that knows the way. And I have to lead them the way. So I'm letting you know I'm increasing in that 10% knowledge. Because I want the earth, the world, and the earth to understand I'm going to always have minds. I'm not giving the earth totally over to Satan. Even though heaven got everything written in and written out. Praise the mighty God. And he said, closed. The books are closed. That means it's finished. See, y'all thought finished was for you to get your rest for your flesh. No, baby. Finished also letting you know the books was closed, sealed, locked in the heaven. You see? So here we are in the one commandment was given to Adam. And not commandment, one, I got off the topic, one instruction, one direction. The Father was saying, and one consequence. He couldn't keep it in. So do you really, this is why the Father says, if you miss the beginning of Genesis 1, 2, and 3, you have missed the whole book. Because in the beginning shows you the end. And because you escaped from the beginning, you run around here trying to justify, clarify, and identify. You got the beginning to the end, and you ain't even collected the beginning. Because Yah didn't give it to you. Through his spirit does he do that. He ain't going to give this to you in this book. So what y'all didn't understand, this book cannot be the word. Heaven and earth shall pass away. But what? The word shall always be, y'all, in the bosom of the Father. The word of truth. See? And Yah is a spirit, right? And his word is the truth. So how in the rats behind do y'all think that these loudmouth men can teach you this book at a level of telling you it is righteous and you got to live by it, when there's no spirit and truth in them? When there's no spirit and truth in them, then there's no truth outside of the lie that they call the truth. You see, this book cannot be taught unless the Ruach HaKodesh pull it up and bring it out. That's why people don't understand in John. He's sitting here fierce. He's allowing it to come out in fierce. That the word is God trying to stamp in us to understand, wait a minute, y'all, I'm the word, y'all. Hey, I'm the word, the word was with me in the beginning. I am the word is me. We are one. I am the word. That's just like his power. His power is his right hand, and they missed it. They missed it. And they still walking around today, more and more still booming, coming out to deceive the mass. So what happens? We're going to have to stay back on that. Y'all gonna be shocked regarding the season. So here it is. Here we come out. And we just thinking that it's like what man is preaching and teaching. This book is just the instructions and direction book. It can't redeem you. It can't save you. It can't deliver you. It can't heal you. It can't do nothing for you but be a study guide and an instruction guide. And it can't even do that for you until the what? The Ruach in you come. The Ruach, the Holy Spirit of Yah, come and teach you. Why? Because man has taken this book out of the total order of the perfect will in Genesis 1 and 2, and they have orchestrated it their way. Who did that? Satan, when he came, he had, and he was given a right hand. And that right hand had the power of what the little power the Father gave him. He chose to hire the Roman Catholic to be his power. So when the Roman Catholic stuff came in, they decided to represent, that they didn't decide it, they represented Satan as his right hand. So what they did is they took this book and they went into it, not just like this book, but they took the what people thought was the word of God, and they smeared it any and every kind of way. So what? That man can always be seen as the over, as the king, the leader, the ruler, as everything. Man has taken on that position to the point where if you ever decide to pick it up, see how many men has lost their lives in this same book. It's off the chain. But they won't talk about that. They won't preach that. How many people follow? Y'all, not too many out of this book. You guys. Even in this book, the Father will show you that the gate was always narrow. Even in the book that y'all study and use as a hammer to deceive the mass. This book cannot be used as a hammer to beat the heads of people into what you believe or into what you understand and what you're mastering and claiming that it's the word. This book is not the word. The word is in the heavens. Heaven and earth shall pass away. It's not this book on the earth. It's not this book on the earth. Heaven and earth shall pass away. Meaning the sky, the clouds, everything in the heaven and this earth, from what you can see, shall pass away, y'all. Heaven and earth shall pass away. But the word can't pass away because it is Yah. It tells you that in the Gospel of John, but y'all didn't want to see it the way the Father created it. You all wanted to see it the way man teaches it. And that's why you all are running through the broad gate. But the broad gate leads one place, y'all, to the lake of fire. And many of you all don't even understand that. They have led you all only one way, to the broad gate, in their wisdom, their knowledge, and their understanding, which is outside of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Spirit of God. They are a different entity. That's why the men today trying to make sure they hold on firm to be in the head. Because as Satan came to the earth, guess what happened? See, when you miss what took place in heaven, because Father didn't see it to be worth you understanding that something took place before the foundation of the world, and it took place in the kingdom, where one wanted the power, the throne, and that's why he ended up on earth. The same position he wanted in the heavens, he has conquered. He has conquered on the earth. Father wasn't giving up and giving him, or he gonna allow him to think that he can have the throne and the power there. You going down there in heaven. That's why it says that he come down to deceive the whole world, even you and I. Because his whole ideal of deceiving the whole world is to do things like this here. Make you think that this book is the word of Yah. And then all of a sudden, when the Spirit of Yah come in you, what can he teach you if this book then already taught you? And then the mouth of man then already mended in you that it's the way that he have said that this said. And therefore, well, what can he teach you? He can't teach you nothing. This is why the gate is narrow, because we suffer to hear everything out of the mouth of man and never really realize it. It's impossible for you to be in the Lamb Book of Life if you followed the way of the flesh of man and your spirit, your flesh, to the broad gate. And the broad gate is the way that man leads you and you lead yourself, meaning flesh. That means you born of the flesh. And man leads the flesh, but man can't lead the spirit. You see? That's why the spirit going to be judged when it come before the throne and not the flesh. The flesh going to be on earth, but because the flesh ruled the spirit and the spirit let the flesh get dominion over it, then okay, your spirit is going to be judged based on your ugly flesh. How about that? How about that? Okay, so we going back to the fourth season. So what has happened in it all, we have allowed many people to train us to believe everything in this book is the way we can go. See, these men, they had no idea that Satan had a right hand, and his right hand was the Roman Pope and the Catholics. You see, the Roman Catholic. They had no idea. That's why you notice it's always been a Pope in their head. That's the one who was given the order, but that was a man. Everything, all the way back, y'all, all the way back before this book was printed, he was in order. He decided to give you all the book. But the thing about him giving you the book, before he can have the book to be, how would I say it, smeared, he still couldn't smear the light that Yah would allow to remain. That's why the Father say, you see that star, Deborah? You see that dark star? You see that light star? When he allowed me to have a book, a Bible, and instructions and direction, he'll show me different little signs. Don't you see this? Don't you see this? Like in the Gospel of John, if you can't see that power in that the word, the way the word is being spoken, so you got to pull out that word. When you speaking it, in the beginning was the BAM, the word. And the word BAM was. And the word BAM is. And the word was BAM in the beginning. You got to give that word the power, because that's who holds it. This book has no power. It cannot deliver you. It cannot save you. It cannot redeem you. It cannot heal you, people. It is an instructions and directions. And if you just read and wait for the Holy Spirit to correct it up and to correct it down. Why would the Father allow some of his fingerprint to be in this book? Because he trusts in you to study. And in your midst of studying, you're studying because you're waiting for him. You're tarrying for him to come to give you the overseer. But what has happened, people didn't study it back to front, front to back, with no hope or no desire to wait on him or to know that he was coming. So the Father let them study to where they end up forming their own religion all over the place, all over the world. That's why you got millions or hundreds of denominations coming out of the same book. That's why. Because they didn't wait for the only one that knew the smearing in this book. You see? They didn't wait. Even to today, they still not going to wait. They don't desire to wait. They don't feel that they want to wait. They don't want to wait. Oh, my time is almost up. So I'm saying to you that even in this book, you cannot, if you look at what they're talking about as far as polygamy, every verse is not saying, I'm sitting here watching them, every verse that they're category does not meet the expectation of spirit and truth. So when you go in this book, you cannot debate without spirit and truth in the midst. That's why they don't want women to speak. God didn't tell women to speak. Go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1 and 2. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, 27, 28, and 29. He's telling you, she got just as much dominion as you do. You see? But what has happened, even when the point where woman has sinned, you all better go in there and correct that in the spirit of the Ruach. He will show you where the Roman Catholics, which were men, and if you all knew what type of men they were, the highest level of demonic, wicked, sexual abomination that rewrote this book to make sure men got the dominion over woman in a way that the Father did not order it in Genesis 1. Now, what's going on with Genesis 1, Deborah? You got to look at Genesis 1, where the Father called out his whole creation. And it all got lost. All of it got lost when they pinpoint woman in the garden. They put her there to be the one that has done this, done that, 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 done this, and done that, and that. No. You see? No, that's not the will of my Father. That was the will of the power of the Roman Catholic Pope and the organization itself. That's who was over that. Right now, all the nations from China, Russia, Germany, France, Iran, Italy, when you look behind all of them, guess what? You're going to find the Roman Pope is still yet connected. Yes, the dark base is in Italy. Oh, the dark base is in Italy. But United States is like the Christians being the shield to hide the Roman Catholics. See, all of this here you get through the Spirit who says, wait, tarry until I come. And I teach you and show you and reveal things to you that shall be and shall come. And I will bring things to your remembrance. And I will show you things to come. I will comfort you. I will teach you not some things, Deborah, but all things. When you can put that type of trust to something that's going to do that, then you know you're already written in He who puts you down on the earth as a servant in the body. Okay, so let me cover that up. I have to finish this. So here you go with the fourth season. The fourth season is 4 chambers. And what has happened is, during that time, I was working for the Salvation Army. I worked for Salvation Army. I worked for a home for battered women and children. I worked for women prison, men minimum prison, and men maximum prison. I've worked for, they texted me off the wall. I've worked for, let me give you more. Why are they doing that? I work for, drug rehab for women and children. I've worked for so many things in so many places that I work. And the only reason why I work there is because the Father wanted me to be where I'm at today. See, a lot of people can't tell you nothing because they ain't been nowhere. The mission itself is what the mission from the Spirit of Yah, what is within me today to be able to minister to you all kind of things. So I am one that he's given the knowledge to give unto you, because the knowledge shall increase only in the spirit realm, because the Spirit is bringing light to that which sit in darkness. Okay. Now he's not going to cease from bringing knowledge because his servants are still here. It ain't over until it's over, he said. That's why I keep telling me, get in your lane. That means stay in the spirit realm, Deborah. Don't go up in the flesh realm. You'll get lost. Because you got too much of the spirit realm to be up in flesh, trying to get the understanding of why polygamy is righteous. Why is it people, and everybody on this earth should be chewing these men out today. Everybody on this earth should be chewing men out today. When they're thinking life is about what you can get out of your flesh. Whenever you focus on your flesh, then that shows you are born of the flesh, because you want people to okay that which is in the flesh, and they have no food in the spirit, because it's more important that they understand to go your way, do your way, understand your wisdom, understand your knowledge, and understand your power in their flesh than to understand, stand down in spirit. All things rumble in the spirit. So what happens? Let's see here what happens. So what happens is, okay, and what happens is we're gonna hit into this. Okay, we're gonna wrap into this. We're going to wrap into this spirit. We're going to wrap into this spirit realm. Because in the spirit realm is what you all are missing. And a lot of you don't want to have no detachment to the spirit realm, but that's what's going to keep you in these tribulations and this judgment of the Most High that has hit the earth. And the wrath of the Father is on the earth. That's what's going to keep you, that which rides in the spirit. That's it. So y'all run your tails around here and follow these men that's going down the darkest tunnel, rabbit hole on the face of the earth. That's why Isaiah, I figured out why Isaiah 3 and 25 is talking about destroying these men. I see why they lied about Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. All of this stuff is lies. Based on them taking this book, telling you, it got to be like this book. It got to be like the Roman Pope said. It got to be like the way the Roman Pope, right hand of Satan said that we got to do this, without seeing it in the spirit realm at all. And not understanding that you cannot follow the way of the world. You cannot follow the ways of the world and feel that it is the way of Yah. But you go right ahead. Help yourself. Enjoy yourself. So, where are we at? So, in the fourth season, this is about to get you. This is where it's going to get you. The fourth season is the 4 chambers. of the Most High Yah in his bosom. He feels this thing, y'all. He feels this thing. You got to understand the four seasons the earth bow down to. The four seasons the earth honor and worship. They appreciate the four seasons that the Father has created for them. Only one don't is the flesh of men and women. Everything on the earth bow down to the four seasons outside of men and women because they turned around and they mastered the four seasons in the way that they are willing to embrace it according to their flesh. So they missed out of something that was created for us to take advantage of and to observe and see it for what it is. But what they do, they went back to Torah and back in the old and pulled all these feast days and all these days that's out here to them for them to serve Yah. Y'all ain't going to accept their opportunity. That's why it's gotten to the point where it's out of order. It's because they've been serving each other and we're in the midnight hour and they still serving feast days and days of gathering and feasting and drinking and coming together. Those are not of Yah. Those are not of Yah. Why? Because see, what y'all didn't understand, all these feast days and all these things that they doing today, it's not a part of Yah. Only thing that is a part of Yah, if that is a part of what Yah has created for those that are in the spirit, is those that's up under the head, which is Hamashiach. And we are the body. See, the body's supposed to follow the head. Instead, we took the head, chopped it off, and put a flesh of a man head so we can follow him and go the ways of way he feel, the way his emotions. And right now, our men is in a level of female emotions, even to the point of trying to become who you are. That's how deep it is. The emotion of a man today is so detached to a wicked low standard to it is off the chain. But yet they want to be kings, leaders, and rulers. How can you be kings, leaders, and rulers with such a sensitive emotion and your feelings is always tampered with? I don't get it. It doesn't show anything of a head of anything. So what we did is we took the head and switched the head of the body to the flesh of man. Y'all say he ain't got no problem with that. The head was already created in the heavens. So how you like him now? How about that? How about that? So the head is Hamashiach. And those that's in the body is still yet there. It's just still a small remnant. He's not caring about you getting in the body or you looking at Hamashiach is the head. It don't matter. So the fourth season will be missed because they put the head to be man. The Roman Catholics, the Pope, they did that before this Bible was even printed. So when they did it, that's how they were able to put in here and put man such on a high pedestal and put woman down as dirt under the foot of man. Y'all never created that. Y'all did not create that, but you're going to live that. You're going to see as time go on, the level of where we're at in the world today is still under the power of the way the man has caused the world to be today. They just thought that they could put woman as the fault to bring sin and it was going to cover them. But what they didn't understand, the Father knew that woman wasn't the one. That's why he put man first, because man was the one that sinned. And you all got it listed as, oh, she the one, she the this, and now that put us rulers. All of that, the Father says, was the smeared right hand of Satan in the hand of the Roman Catholic who smeared this book. That's why we need the Ruach HaKodesh, because it's going to come and it's going to teach us what this book has been lying about since the beginning of time. And that's why he tells me if they missed Genesis 1, where the order was perfect, he said, doing that 1, 2, and 3, the order was perfect, but they still smeared it. But guess what, Deborah? The righteous way I created still stand. You notice it? And I said, I see it. Because see, what y'all didn't understand, who has the power over the Roman Pope and Satan. You see, what it is, see, one thing about it is, Satan knows what's what. The Father said, leave the light on. And the light that Satan leaves on is not for you. Somebody like me. Those who have been predestined and ordained to be the servants of the Most High Yah as his prophets. We come to bring the power back to the word of Yah, from which it comes from. Woo! So let me tell you, let me wrap this season up. So when we talk about the season, we're talking about the season in a way that is very powerful. The season, we have to see it as it was created. 4 chambers coming from the Most High Yah. The whole earth bowed down to the 4 seasons and worship and honor and thank the Father for it. But human beings, because they don't see the 4, they don't see the 4 season. They don't see the 4 season. The 4 season rest in the bosom of Yah. That's why he came to me at 14, telling me to respect the 4 season, honor it, live by it, and take advantage of it, because I've given it to you to do so. And I was complaining about the season, which was summer, too hot. So he wanted me to understand, don't do that. Embrace it. And here today, I still do likewise. Now, let me explain to you. All those organizations I worked with was also teaching me, it taught me in those, how the reaction of people on the 4 seasons. People's whole mindset and feeling changes during those 4 seasons. Those 4 seasons carry some power, y'all. They carry some power. My 43-year-old, all his life, I've always recognized the 4 seasons. And what has happened, now watch this here. Here go the 4th season, which is the chambers in the bosom of the Father. Here go the world, Satan. And what did he do? He embedded pagan holidays into the seasons. He embedded holidays, pagan holidays into the seasons. So you wouldn't understand really or enjoy really the seasons in which Yah has created. Only way you enjoyed the seasons is when you celebrated the pagan holidays. This shows you how man has always respect what Satan embedded into our lives, but never respect the seasons in which Yah has given us, and the whole earth who worship, who honor and praise and appreciate and show that they appreciate the 4 seasons. They do, the whole earth outside of men and women have no respect for the 4 chambers, which is the 4 seasons. But Satan took the 4 seasons and had the right hand, which is the Roman Catholics, to place in pagan holidays to celebrate the pagan holidays over the 4 seasons. You get what I'm saying? Let me show you the power and how that destroyed a lot of things. Because right now, people right here today, they're feeling this Christmas. And they don't understand what this feeling I have. And I don't celebrate Christmas. I ain't celebrate Christmas in 10 years. But I don't understand why I got this feeling. It's because that feeling is coming from the 4 seasons. It's not so much as the pagan holidays, but it's the 4 seasons. So the Father want me to say to you, you take those 4 seasons and you recognize them and appreciate them. And whatever day you decide to embrace, just understand that I came up with the 4 seasons. Satan, it's just like the tare in the wheat. The wheat was growing, and when they woke up, they found what? All this tare had grew into the wheat. Well, that's how the pagan holidays came into the 4 seasons. So what the Father always wanted you to understand, just as, now listen to this. Listen, share this video. Listen to this. This is where the power reigns. When he created those 4 seasons, he created it for the earth all the way up to the heaven to enjoy. Okay? Everything on the earth respect the four seasons. Embrace the four seasons and enjoy the four seasons outside of the flesh of man and woman. I hate adding woman to a lot of things because when the Father revealed to you what really took place in Genesis 3 and 4, where how the Roman Catholic implanted a lie about Eve and about what took place in the garden, I kind of feel sad about that because this is the way the world lives today based on what they started yesterday. That's showing you the power of how Satan has dominion over the majority of you all, 99.9. And that's what's kind of sad. So let me hurry up with this here so I can continue. I got to deliver that food. So what happens? So as the four seasons are here, my son, my 43-year-old, has these feelings. Every time the season switches over, he gets these emotional feelings, whether it's spring, summer, winter, fall, or winter. So I know what's going on. And that's why I'm the one that has lived, Yah has allowed live to help him to embrace things. But what happened is, like say for instance me, every season, the four seasons, my skin shed each season. It don't just shed one season, it sheds four seasons. When the summer is ready to come in, when the summer is prepared, my nose peel. When the spring is prepared, my nose peel. When the summer come in, my nose peel. When the when the fall come in, my nose shed. Not peel, shed. It sheds. It don't shed all the way through all four seasons. Every time to inform me that a season is approaching. He lets my skin peel on my nose. It clears up and get a beautiful color, a smooth skin. And then when summer is coming, it peels again. Go back to beauty. Fall, it peels again. It peels 4 times a year to represent what? The seasons. So my son, his emotion switches during the seasons as the home for battered women and children. They might get beaten during October and November. Okay? And during the springtime, the husband is more pleasant, the more calmer. I'm telling y'all, everything rides on the 4 chambers. Whether we embrace the 4 chambers or not, there's things that has to happen, things that happen out of the power of the 4 seasons. This is why Satan allowed the Roman Catholic to implant pagan holidays during those 4 seasons. Let's take, for instance, spring. Spring brings up Easter. All of them brings up. And you notice summer brings in the 4th of July and Memorial Day, other days. And you know the fall brings in October, Halloween. And November, which is it brings in along with October, Thanksgiving. And then Christmas and New Year's come in during the winter. This is showing you that the tare has planted itself into the wheat. The wheat is what is righteous. And the tare, which is unrighteous, has planted itself. Same thing with the 4 seasons. But the Father wants me to let you know. As I have explained to you all since I was 14, the Father dealt with me on the 4th season. Embrace it. Accept it. I always get my sled like this. When it get cold, I'm going to have my sled. I was out there raking my leaves come fall. I still can feel it, y'all. It's a feeling inside that comes with that stuff. I feel sad because I remember when me and my son, and even when I had my daughter, how we used to play in the leaves and rake. And you feel that thing. The sledding. One winter, I went by myself. Got me an old-fashioned sled. I went by myself because I remember those days in which it was happy times. So during these seasons, let me explain to y'all. During October, which they planted the day of wicked sacrifice, When November and December come in, you all have no idea how the season itself holds the mystery to the greatest suicides on the face of the earth during these months. Yes. Why? Because we were never taught by our fathers, who the father said, train up the children in the righteous way they should go. That's the way. That's the way. That's the way. You want to know what the way is? It's righteous. Train the children up in the way. Because if the father ain't never known the way, how can he train them up in the way? Easy. Trust in righteous. Train them up in the way that they should go. And when they get old, they won't depart. Meaning that same righteous will remain in them from the time you train them up, even when they old. But this is what you see today. Because those that the father had trust to train these kids up has error from the beginning. And that's why the children error all the way until they are old. And then they have children. And then when their children come out doing the same thing. That's why he had to visit the iniquity of the fathers, 3 to 4, not the mothers, because he's sending a sign. This is where you know through the Spirit he teaches you these things. But see, they don't want, see the Spirit coming in to tell the truth of the matter of what's going on with these men. And these women are denied all the truth just to hang on to the lie of the wisdom and knowledge and the understanding of these men. Go ahead on here. Go right ahead. So here go the season. And here goes Satan. They done planted these pagan holidays. So I'm trying to really figure out how I'm going to, from this day on, understanding it in the fullness of how I'm going to do it from now on. What I understand is man has taught us the feast days and how to do this and how to do this in the way that it was the old. But what you did not understand, in the old was the darkness, y'all. It wasn't the good times, y'all. It was the darkness. That which is in the old shall come to the light in the last days. So somewhere along the line, the old held all the darkness and it's being revealed today. You see? So we're thinking we're doing it backwards. We're running back to Torah and running back to the old, saying, no, we want to go back to here. And the father said, no, that's not the way. That's not the way. Well, what do you mean? The gate ain't going to take you backwards. It's going to take you forward. So find your way. The way is not backwards, it is forward. So how can it be about yesterday as far as trying to master yesterday? You'll never know how to move forward in the gate that shows you the way. When you want to go backwards, you cannot go forward to the Messiah, to the Redeemer. You can't go forward because you're so busy running backwards, because backwards keep people where they at today, spiritually bound to spirit and truth and the light. Backwards don't hold the light. Forwards holds the light. Forward is the way. But man has chose to keep going backwards, thinking it's the way to forward. No. Never was, never will be. Okay? That's why Revelation is waiting for you. Tribulation. The judgment of the Father, like never before. Why? Because these people are chasing Torah and the back end, and we're heading forward in the Spirit. Spirit will never take you backwards and tell you to worship yesterday over where he's taking you today. Spirit will never teach you that. But that's the way y'all want to go. That's the way that the Father has suffered you to go. And he locked that word up and he locked it out. That means nobody can go in there. It's finished. And that's where the real rest come in, is knowing that the books are locked, Deborah. It's finished. Okay? So what I'm trying to get to you all is this. Sister Deborah feels the 4 seasons, the 4 chambers in which the Father created for not just the earth, but for all things that came from the earth. You see? That's what the four season was for. Only one don't respect it and honor it is the flesh of man. And why don't they honor it? It's because they looking backwards, thinking that they missed something backwards, or I got to catch up with what's back there. I got to do it the way it said in the back. No, you don't, baby, because the back is causing us where we at today. The sin really rests there. The wrongdoing, the ugliness rests there. And we trained ourselves to be just like yesterday by being worse today like it was yesterday. But we decided to look at yesterday and make it worse today in the way they was yesterday. And the Father said, this need be, Deborah. This need be. Now, let me tell you about the four seasons. Now, the fourth season where Satan came in and implanted the pagan holidays. The Father said to me, and he said this last year as well, you do not have to follow the pagan holidays. Follow the seasons. And he wants you to understand, follow the seasons from within and out. Not the way man say you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. Then you fall in the ways of man, the wisdom of man, the knowledge of man, and the understanding of man. And then he's sitting here saying today, what? Knowledge just got increased to you all that you didn't know yesterday. Because this is the knowledge I'm telling you, it's spiritual knowledge. That there was a fourth season for you to celebrate, to embrace. And because man told you to only embrace feast days, the moon, the sun, the everything that they say you embrace, the gathering, all of that, he says, is worldly. All of that, the Father says, is also pagan days of worship. Because nothing they do at these feasts represent me. That's why I son Yeshua to cap it off. Hear me through the Spirit in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's going to be like the days of Noah. Every imagination was continually wicked and evil. Well, what do you mean? This is what they're going to be doing. Feasting. You said it's about you, Hebrew Israelites? Why is he warning us that you're going to be feasting, doing the things that you should not be doing during the days of Noah? Same way with Lot. They're going to be planting and building. See, we want to say Gentiles and heathen. He's talking to the Gentiles and heathen. But then we claim this book represents us. This book is about us. It is our history. Well, why is Yeshua explaining to us in four books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Why is he explaining? They're explaining to us 4 times in 4 books that it's going to be like the days of Noah. Pull up the days of Noah. Every imagination was wicked and evil continually. And then it tells you what was like the days of Noah. The first verse. Man. That's it. That's all you need. Males. Oh, they ain't going to teach that thing. They ain't going to preach that thing. That's what you call true spirit and truth with the power behind it. Feasting. Drinking. Wives and giving in wives. Marrying and giving in wives. All the things that we want to charge the heathens and Gentiles for doing. And they are not doing this. You are, house of Israel. Sinning. It was no reason for Yeshua to say it's going to be like the days of Noah. And break that thing down. And we ignore it. It's going to be like the days of Lot. And break that thing down. And we ignore it. Everything that Yeshua, it was said that Yeshua said in the book of Matthew, in the book of Luke, in the book of John, and in the book of Mark has warned us that our nation of people will be feasting, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. He's talking about 2 different kinds. Letting you know, just like the daughters, the men in Noah was giving their daughters, selling their daughters, giving them away. Same thing today. And then they want to put polygamy on the top of the ladder in such a critical time as the time of tribulation. Why is polygamy up on top of the ladder? In a time of tribulation, in the time of the Father's judgment on the earth, in the time of the fire of Yah has kindled on the earth. Why do we need polygamy to be up there? Why are people debating about something that has to do with your flesh? Flesh goes to the, we know that goes to the grave. Why are we meditating on righteous within polygamy when it is connected to the flesh? Common sense, people. I'm going to teach that today. Polygamy in the common sense of the spirit. Polygamy in the common sense of the spirit. Now let's talk about the end days in recognizing the season. The Father is saying, since this is the wheat, the 4 chambers of the season, and this is the tare, which is the pagan holidays, they have sown their holidays in the season in which Yah wanted us to embrace and recognize and enjoy it and find time in those seasons doing things that we enjoy. Enjoy what I gave y'all. I gave y'all my 4 chambers, which is my 4 seasons. Why ain't y'all enjoying it? Because they got Thanksgiving there? Because they got Christmas? Because they got Easter? Wait a minute, tell you what. When them seasons come around, find something. Stay away from these pagan feast days that man also have created. Take my seasons and make your holiday out of it. Make it a day of holiday for you. Do something. If it falls on December 25th, so what? If it falls on the way the pagans celebrated, so what? I'm celebrating the 4th season that was given to me before the pagan holidays were planted within them. You all missing out. That's what you call knowledge shall be increased. Shalom and shalom.